Well, hello again. It's review time again, as you can see from the futon. You can also see that I am missing my partner in crime. This is because, at the moment, I've seen what I'm reviewing and she hasn't yet. We're working on that. But the subject of tonight's review is Tiger and Bunny. Now, I haven't been into anime for a while. I mean, I started back when there were 151 Pokemon and Frieza was the big scary villain on Dragon Ball Z. And yes, I have just dated myself, and no, I don't care. But it was one of those things, really into it in elementary, really into it in middle school, really into it in high school, kind of tapered off in college. And so I know a lot about the brand new anime that are going around and really popular right now, but I haven't seen many of them. So when a lot of my friends got into this anime called Tiger and Bunny, they told me, oh, you need to see it, oh, it's great, oh, they're showing it every week. That's the fun thing about this. It's on Hulu, it's subtitled, and we were getting it every week along with the Japanese release, which is a really cool thing. We don't have to wait forever and a day for a dub and worry about piracy issues. It's all right there if you want to see it. About a year after everyone says you have to see this, I finally sit down and watch it. I love this series. Tiger and Bunny is a Sunrise anime, I believe, based on the principles and ideas of American superheroes. So what we have is a society in which there are humans with superpowers. A human with a superpower is called a next, and some nexts are employed as superheroes. Masked heroes sponsored by corporations whose crime busting and arrests and such are featured on live television as a sort of game show. One of my friends described it to me as middle-aged single dad Spider-Man teams up with Bishonen Batman to fight crime, along with a host of other characters, including Boy Scout Captain America and gay Black Iron Man. Not gonna lie, gay Black Iron Man was what sold me about the description, but it's completely accurate. It is absolutely hysterical. And all in all, it's a really fun show to watch. It's a very solid shonen show. I'm going to do this without spoilers. Just so you know, I'm not spoiling this. I want you all to go out and see it. I would give it probably an 8, a high 8 or a low 9 out of 10. The plot is very solid. There's one point where you actually think the plot is over, and then they open up a whole other dimension to it that you never even saw coming. The characters are fantastic. I love the way that Tiger and Bunny treats its characters. Because you have your two main characters that the series is named after. You have Kotetsu and you have Barnaby, who are middle-aged Spider-Man and Bishonen Batman, who are fantastic foils for each other. Very well-developed characters. But all the other 6 heroes on the team are also very well-developed, as is their producer, as are their managers, as are their friends, as is Kotetsu's daughter and his grandmother. You really get the sense of these characters, and Tiger and Bunny is not one to throw its characters away. More than once, a character that showed up in a previous episode as a one-off villain of the week or as a background person shows up again in a more prominent spotlight. They don't throw out characters, they don't say, oh, you had your 15 minutes and you're done. People do come back, and it's really interesting to see a shonen anime of with an ensemble cast do this, because most of them don't. A lot of them just put a character on a bus and forget about it. So Tiger and Bunny is very solid character-wise. The art's beautiful. It's not like watching a Miyazaki movie. It's not high art, but it's really good animation, really solid. The CGI, because there are CGIs, because these super suits that they wear as heroes are kind of amazing. The CGI and the animation are almost seamlessly blended. There was only one point where I sat there and went, wow, that looks really funny. The rest of it worked perfectly. And there is one point where they alternate a color scheme to show a twist in plot, to show that someone's alignment is off, and it's actually really creepy. Very good use of color, very good atmosphere, art's fantastic. The plot is actually the only reason that it's not a perfect 10 out of 10. And the only reason in that And I enjoyed the hell out of this plot. Like I said, multi-tiered, multi-chaptered. Even the one-off episodes have something to do with the overarching plot. The only problem is, it doesn't stand up to fridge logic. Which, look up your tropes. I've got fridge logic linked below. Don't get stuck in TV tropes. You'll be there for hours. But fridge logic is basically, you look back on something and think about it, and maybe it doesn't make quite as much sense. There's one point where you wonder why, if this thing is important, why didn't Batman do his research? Why didn't the big bad do his research on this thing? There are small oversights that it's kind of hard to forget about when you look at the characters who made them. That's the only reason it's not a perfect 10 out of 10, was because a little bit of fridge logic. Aside from that, 25 episodes, all of it available on Hulu. I thoroughly enjoyed this anime, and I would highly recommend it to anyone else who wants a good anime, who feels like they're behind, or who just wants a fun show. I would recommend this to people who don't watch anime, but who like Superman and superheroes and comic books. I'd recommend this to them too, because even though it's an anime and you're watching it subtitled, it holds up to the same principles as American superheroes. It's an anime that's very different from what is normally put out for the superhero and superhuman genre, and I really appreciate that about that. It's very well executed. I would say definitely go for it.